if you could just tell us what a moment like this means for you guys.
Well, first of all, I am a member of the family through marriage. Eugene was my wife, nephew. Our wives didn't grow up as a young man. He was his sister here who spoke today. His mother is right there beside me. We're grateful for what the DA has done. We're grateful, but they worked as hard as they could to make it as speedy as possible. They live in Georgia. They've been traveling back and forth, every time something came up with the trial. So our heart goes out to them first. And so we're going to continue to pray for our community. We're going to continue to pray that this is a wake-up call for us all, that we begin to work very hard to do all that we can to have a great concern for the lives of families, especially the young men and women that's growing up inside of our community. And we're grateful. We're grateful for all those that supported this family through the whole process. Okay, and so right now the first part of closure has taken place. And so we just want to continue to pray for them that they become stronger through it and continue to pray for our community as a whole. And once again, we're grateful for the police department and and the DA for all that they have done.
Reverend, as a pastor, and probably more so than anybody, a lot of times you see these kids even as they're just barely walking. You now see them as adults. What goes through your mind when you see a child who has kind of gone that direction? And what advice would you give to parents to stop them from going in that direction?
Well, to be honest with you, I look at society as a whole. You can't pick a particular time in which it all took place. We have to see the breakdown of society as a whole. Like I said before, as far as the school system is concerned, as far as support system in every form, government or whatever it may be, it's going to take us as a people as a whole to be able to begin to make a difference. Church, whoever is involved, our heart goes out to the families of these 5 young men also, because they're hurting just as well as we are. To hear a young man have to spend the rest of his life incarcerated, it's not a good feeling. You see, so we have a lot of work to do. And I pray that we come together as a community, like I said earlier, that I pray this is the last time that the city of New Orleans, Ferguson Parish, will have to go through this again.
You mentioned in the courtroom that you prayed for all parties involved.
Sure.
Why did you mention that? Why was that important that you're not, of course, you're standing with the victim side, but also to pray for everyone?
Because I know the families. I know the families. I know the families. My wife helped me to understand that some of these young kids, when they were small, we've seen them before. Since they grew up, I didn't get a chance to, but I know the families of all, most of them that was part of this whole thing. So if you know families, grandmothers, aunts and uncles, so you have to hurt along with them. So it's a tragedy for all of us in this sense,
And being,
as a community.
I was just going to say that being that everybody was so close together, what kind of message does this send that all 5 of those kids are going together,
You mean the sentence?
are being charged?
Well, like I was sharing with the DA, is that everybody has a role to play, and part of their job is to make sure that folks commit crimes, have to pay for the crime they committed. So I'm not knocking anybody for the process, but my heart is this: if we can do something before we get to this particular point. We still have a lot of young men out there right now, young men and young women out there that need help. You see, so as a whole, we should try to work very hard to make sure that they never get to this particular point. So you look at the lives of those young men who's going to maybe spend the rest of their lives in jail. You have to start thinking to yourself, what are some of the things that we can change as a community? I'm talking about from the school system, congregations, pastors, and those of us faith-based institutions. What can we do as a whole to make sure that this community will never have to do this again?
For the family as you leave today, I know healing is a journey, but what's the next step as you leave here? What kind of feelings do you have just knowing that this is the close of this chapter for the family?
Um, I think, as you said, it's a journey, and grief is a process, and that's just where we are. I can't say this is the thing we needed for closure, but I think it helps the process.